Hey, kids, you're listening to a couple of annoyed grunt boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I.
That's right, we're the Simpsons podcast that discusses the beloved animated sitcom, The Simpsons. But we didn't start from season 1, episode 1. No, we started from seasons 11 and beyond, and at random. Why in that sort of weird order? Well, you see, this entity known as the Wheel of Random cursed us to watch it that way. And in doing so, unleashed a force so unthinkable that, I guess it's kind of thinkable. It's us, the Annoyed Grunt Boys. But you know what's nice about that Wheel of Random? When there's a new season, it says, hey, I'm taking a break. You watch those episodes instead. And that's what we're doing. We're currently in the beginning of season 34, watching the new episodes. And when I say we, I'm saying I'm Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig. And with me, as always, is...
Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve. Hi, Craig.
Steve, welcome. We did kind of tease last week that we were going on a date.
Yes, a little movie date.
The last one was Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, The Batman.
Yes, yeah, it was.
Yeah, we decided to go see. We went. Kevin Smith made Clerks 3, and he's doing a road show tour of the film. So it's not like you can just go to your local Cineplex, your local AMC's with Nicole Kidman and watch Clerks 3. No, you had to do either a Fathom events for the week it was out, or the Roadshow live tour where Kevin presents the film live for you. Not like the actors are there performing live, but like Kevin Smith is there and he does a little Q&A after the show. And we went down and watched Clerks 3. So let's, without spoiling it, what are your thoughts on Clerks 3, the third film of the Clerks trilogy?
Yeah.
Or kind of like, the whole View Askew verse when we were teens, like the Clerks Morris and Chase and Amy was kind of like our jam.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now that we're 40-year-old men revisiting these characters who now are in their 50s, what do you have to say about it?
Well, Craig, I will be honest with you. I think that between the two of us, you may be the bigger Kevin Smith fan. I like his work, though. I respect what he does as an artist, and but I haven't followed him as closely. But I will say that this movie was surprisingly earnest.
Ernest Goes to Clerks?
I was waiting for it. No, I thought it was very emotional, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I cried at least once in the movie. But it was also funny, and it was a lot of fun. And I think that it was a really good experience. I enjoyed the Q&A a lot. I'd say my biggest complaint is it was about the theater, actually, which it was a beautiful theater. It was an old theater, but...
It's haunted, too. Ooh.
And it's haunted. But the staff, which all seem to be around 80 years old... kept on talking throughout the movie.
Oh, because we weren't balcony monsters. We were mezzanine monsters.
Right.
And so like we were right next to the vendors that are right behind us in the theater. They just have a curtain that separates the entryway to like the vendors, the concessions, that sort of thing. But yeah, you would hear like for brief times, just like people just like, well, the movie's going on. There's people in the back of that lobby area just talking.
Yeah, it was just interesting because like, sure, people in the theater might speak up because it was kind of a vocal film and, people cheered and whatnot. And you kind of expected that. And it didn't interrupt the flow of the movie because everyone was watching along. It was a good time.
Except for spoilers, when Silent Bob speaks, that's the whole point of Silent Bob is he gets to speak in like one scene of the movie. And when he did, we didn't hear the first part because everyone was cheering too much because he was talking.
True. But no, I thought it was great. And the Q&A was very interesting because there were maybe 3 questions asked, and it went on for about 45 minutes of Kevin Smith just talking, which I thought was fun.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, is if you go see a Kevin Smith Q&A, there's about 2 or 3 questions asked, and he will answer that question for about an hour because he'll segue into, much like how we do on this podcast, where we'll talk about something, and then it segues into something else, to something else, to something else. But I think the funniest thing in the Q&A is he comes out talking about how he has a suitcase. He needed to get a new suitcase because people give him shit and stuff like that. And so he went to Target to get like a suitcase. And he's like, it's a big suitcase for like $100. So sounds pretty good. But he opened it because it was like the Russian nesting dolls, like there were suitcases in the suitcase within the suitcase. And then he was bringing that up, and he's like, but I don't need these other little suitcases for the plane. So he just ends up like giving like 2 of those suitcases out to like fans, like, who wants a suitcase? Like, such a random, because, and of course fans were like, yeah, like, yeah, his luggage from Kevin Smith. He didn't even sign it or anything. Like, if he would have like, I will sign it and you could have it too. Like, no, just, you could tell people that Kevin Smith gave it to you. But yeah, I always related to him, especially since this last scare. Like, I felt like this is Kevin Smith's heart attack and I was having it. I did, like, watching, it was weird because, you know, it was a couple of days after I was in the hospital watching the scene. This isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailer. If you see it, like, Randall has the heart attack, which reflects Kevin Smith's real life heart attack. And so it kind of like plays off of like Kevin Smith's experience, but then putting it into the Clerks universe and the guys. Well, I gotta say, like, I totally think this movie is amazing. The third act is just probably the most sincere, heartfelt act. Kevin Smith can pull at your heartstrings, but there wasn't a dry face in that theater. Yes, they're Kevin Smith fans, but even if you're just a fair weather fan, like, yeah, I've seen his movies, because there's probably a lot of dudes taking their girls there. Like, we got to see this. Like, all right, fine. Everyone's crying. Like, at the end of the movie, again, no spoilers, but at the end of the movie, like, when the credits are rolling, like, I gotta go pee. Everyone's gotta go pee. I go to the bathroom and I make a dad joke, and, you know, because like there's all these dudes there, and all you hear is, you know, because they're trying to regroup themselves from their crying. So of course I make the joke of like, wow, there sure is a lot of allergies down here. And like one guy chuckled. I'm like, oh, I probably should have said, like, who's cutting onions down here? That would have been better.
Yeah.
Who's chopping onions? Sorry. You know, the last one he did was the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, which was him remaking Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And then when he says that Clerks 3 is just like him remaking Clerks 1, but the characters are remaking Clerks 1. So it's like kind of like where these two movies back to back. But Jay and Silent Bob reboot was a straight up comedy with like a billion celebrity cameos, but there was some heartfelt shit in it, but not like what happened in Clerks 3 or the character growth. And like, it's not a Jay and Silent Bob movie. They're in it for about as much time as you need them to. They're like in a couple bits, and the bits they do are great. It is a Dante Randall story, and it's like growing up with these characters. Like, Jeff Anderson is never been like an actor. Like, he's been in movies, in Kevin Smith movies, but he's never been like, I'm going to seek that Hollywood lifestyle. But he just comes off like just so natural as Randall. Like, he is Randall.
Yeah, and the emotional impact that he has, that he brings to the movie, is really good. You
get Brian O'Halloran, Dante again, probably gives his best performance in the third act. Like, as an actor, like, it's incredible. And, you know, also Kevin Smith, he didn't shoehorn his daughter into the whole movie.
Right. She's just a very small part.
She's a very small part, but it's a canon establishment. Spoilers for people that haven't seen Jay and Silent Bob reboot that came out like 4 years ago. That her character is Jay's daughter. Spoilers.
Right.
The very few celebrity cameos we get is very funny. The ones that the celebrity cameos are actually played in different characters, like Amy Sedaris, who's never been in a Kevin Smith thing, I think, plays the doctor in the beginning. Fucking amazing performance.
Great, yeah.
Justin Long plays like a doctor in it. Like, he just puts on a great like character voice. Like, again, very funny.
Yeah, he made a strong choice and he stuck with it.
Exactly. Like, Justin Long seems like the type of the guy that probably auditioned for SNL but didn't get it.
I could definitely see that.
But he was great in it. Like, everyone was great in it. Like, it's a good continuation of Clerks 2. Like, you can watch Clerks 1 and 2 and 3 back to back, and everything makes perfect sense. The way Clerks 2 ends, it's so amazing. Like, Clerks 2, might be a minor spoiler to Clerks 3. I think they let's talk about the original trilogy, not Return of the King, but Return of the Jedi, Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi. I feel like Clerks, of course, is Star Wars. Clerks 2 is more Return of the Jedi, whereas this movie, Clerks 3, is more Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because Clerks 2 kind of ends on a happy note. Where Clerks 3 is like Empire, where it ends on a down note. And as Dante always said, Empire was like real life because life ends on a series of down notes.
That's right.
Kudos to Kevin Smith. Like, this felt like, I think maybe since Clerks 2, this feels like the most Kevin Smithy thing.
I agree, yeah.
It's almost, I love Clerks 2, but I think this might come down to like being close to like Clerks 1. Like, it's almost near perfection for me.
Wow, yeah. It was very good. It's also just amazing I mean, it's obvious, but the fans that were there were so dedicated to him. And like, it was just really cool to see just the artist and his fans like connect on that level, especially like face to face. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just such a down to earth dude that it's so cool to see him succeed and being able to continue to make his own art on his own terms.
Yeah.
Very respectable.
Yeah. And again, growing up with the characters of Randall and Dante, like,
Yeah.
also if Kevin said this was his last movie ever, like, it's totally fine if it was. You know?
Right.
Because he even like went on, it's like, oh, I got like 5 movies ready for like he even told us the plan of like his next 5 movies.
Literally
You know?
the plot of each one of them.
And he even said like, and there's going to be a Clerks 4 eventually. I have the idea for that, you know.
Never stops thinking.
Yeah. And that's what we need to do is never stop drinking. Is that what we said?
Drinking. You say drinking?
Yeah, let's go to a corner. Let me pick the corner, Steve. How about we
Yeah, mate.
pick this corner?
Welcome to the Wine Corner.
Thank you, Sideshow Fraser. Steve, we're going to be drinking wine, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got for us this week?
Well, Craig, I try sometimes to associate the beverages that I pick with the show that we're watching, but I had a tough time because with this new season, we don't always know the episode before we did. So I knew it had something to do with bikes and something to do with Lisa. Lisa's a little girl.
So you got little bike girl wine.
Yes, I am sorry for the Italians in the audience for what I'm about to say.
Pizza. Spaghetti.
Mario. Mario. It's Casina Casale Barbera di Asta Vespa 2021. It is a red wine from the Barbera grape, and it features a moped, like an old style moped, and there's 4 little girls wearing colorful,
like a Vespa.
Yeah, a Vespa.
Italian.
Mm-hmm. And there's 4 like 40s girls, like girls from like the 40s on the bike, and it's very cute. This vineyard, Casina Casale, has belonged to the Barino family for generations, and the current owner inherited it from her father in 1970. It's a female-made wine, and so the wine evokes blackberry and cherry on a delicate floral background. It's balanced and delectable, and there's even a subtle note of minerality. Those are words that I thought of, and I'm not reading off of the screen.
Of course.
It's a wine that will pair perfectly with white and red grilled meats. I thought I was going to say a wine that pairs perfectly with white and red wines. No, it's a wine that will pair perfectly with white and red grilled meats, salami, and young cheeses.
Jesus.
Yep. Ooh. No, I do get the blackberry notes. It's I have to say that I don't want to use wine words, but the texture is very velvety, like coats your tongue in a very pleasant way. And it is smooth. No tannic grip, just a nice full-bodied wine. It's dry, and it comes in at 14%, so it'll get you drunk.
Yay.
Yay. Yeah, that's my wine. I recommend it, the Vespa. It's a good wine. What do you got for us, Craig?
Steve.
I will connect my wine with this episode and also with us. You see, we like to recap the episode. We tell the whole tale of this episode. We're kind of a storyteller, Steve. And
True.
The episode did air last night. So about last night, we're going to talk about last night storyteller, Sauvignon Blanc.
Ooh.
From Sonoma County. Now, it also relates to because the graphic on the label has a bunch of like activities on it, including bike riding. And there's bicycles in this.
Yeah.
This is from Storyteller, I guess is the name of the winery, from Sonoma County, of course, in California. Here, let's read the paragraphs on the wine bottle, Steve. It says, Sonoma wine country is brimming with fables of varying degrees of truth, passed down through the generations, usually aided by a celebrated local wine. Storyteller wines encourage your stories to unfold in ever more fantastic versions. So what's your story? Tell us at winefables.com/annoyedgruntboys/butthole.
That's right.
So about last night, this nuanced and layered Sonoma County Sauvignon Blanc seduces with a crispy acidity and hints of summer grass. Pineapple and tropical fruit flavors fill out the mid palate and finish fresh. It's 13.5% alcohol by volume. It does contain sulfates.
Oh,
yeah. Sorry. And also, So let's give it. I like it, Sauvignon Blanc.
me too.
It's a nice, light, crisp, refreshing white wine. Very clear. Looks like hydrated urine.
That's what you want to make good Sauv Blanc.
I'm going to be looking for the acidity of crisp and summer grass
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of pineapple.
You know, if you
Right
drink
now,
pineapple.
it just smells like white wine. I don't smell summer grass with summer grass. It's not as acidity as it says. It's very smooth. Like usually, if I saw the crisp acidity, I thought it would like get you in the heartburn region, but I don't taste that.
Right.
I do get more of an appley, crisp appley taste. And I like bite into like an apple chip, like a dehydrated apple chip.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's the aftertaste.
Okay, that sounds pleasant.
I don't get hints of pineapple. It was chilled, but I get more of like an apple, like a nice apple. It's almost like cider in a way
Interesting, yeah.
without the carbonation.
Right. Interesting, yeah. So it kind of has a freshness, but with that like little
It does.
apple bite.
I
to
actually
it.
like
Yeah.
this. Like a lot of times, like Sauvignon Blancs, like Pinot Grigio in a way, like can just feel like it's like when you have that sip, you can feel like this is going to give me heartburn. I just know it.
Yeah.
This one, I think this would be great with pork,
Mm-hmm.
like a nice pork chop, like Homer's favorite meal.
Mm-hmm.
The apple works. Yeah, I think this would be a very good wine for the harvest season, like a nice like Thanksgiving meal, that sort of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it's wonderful. I enjoy it.
Very nice.
Here, do you want to sip?
Oh, sure.
How is that sipping through my microphone?
There's the apple notes. Yeah. No grass. Okay.
As much as I'm enjoying this wine corner, I think we need to sober up and be more attentive to our duties.
We are sober men and true, and attentive to our duty.
All right, Steve. So that means we're going to go back in the time machine all the way back to last night when we watched this episode. And, like, 4 days since this episode aired for the listeners.
That's right.
Yeah. We're talking about season 34, episode 2, One Angry Lisa, which, of course, aired October 2nd, 2022. Steve, what was the number one movie in the box office?
The number one movie in the box office was Smile.
Yeah, I don't know much about this movie except for like they did a really good guerrilla marketing campaign. Like during like baseball games, they had actors in the stands with creepy smiles, and they would zoom in to those to the fans, and there was a paid actor that had a creepy smile, and they was like smile in theaters this weekend or whatever. Horror movies do great this time of the box office because it's Halloween. People want to be scared. Horror movies are cheap to produce. I mean, I'd like to see the Smile movie. Like, I'll wait until I like to be at home to watch a horror movie because it seems scarier.
Right. Turn out the
home.
lights. Pop
Exactly.
popcorn. Yeah.
I'll wait till it's on DVD probably, or it's streaming probably next week.
Yeah. After witnessing a bizarre traumatic incident involving a patient, Dr. Rose Cotter starts experiencing frightening occurrences that she can't explain. Sounds frightening.
Is there anyone that we know in the movie?
Absolutely not.
That's the way you do horror movies. You know?
Yeah. Sozie Bacon, Caitlin Stassi, Jesse T. Usher, Kyle Gelliner, Rob Morgan, and Nick Arepakalu kind of make out the cast. So I don't know any of these people, but
sounds like a new franchise, the Smile franchise.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Steve, I wasn't smiling at the box office because I'm too afraid to go to movies. Hey, wait, we saw Clerks 3. Where's Clerks 3 in the because he's just doing it on the road. He's not actually showing it to every theater every day. What was Clerks 3 after like the third week?
19.
You know, not bad for like it's only in like one theater like every 2 days or something like that in the country.
The total gross so far as of this weekend is 2,900,000, almost 3 million.
Nice. So I think he's got 3 million to go and then gets his money back or even. Just buy those DVDs, guys.
Yeah. So while we were turning our frowns upside down with Smile, what were we bopping out to on the ride home?
The same song, and has it been forever? There, that's it.
Yep.
Harry Styles, same as it was. All right, we got it out of the way. Steve, let's just get this episode out of the way, too.
Alrighty.
Today, again, we're talking about One Angry Lisa, and in it, Lisa gets called for jury duty. Marge becomes obsessed with her exercise bike. And, I forgot to say, that was Harry Styles, and that song is pretty good. I reviewed it.
I also reviewed it. It is a song.
All right, so we will watch One Angry Lisa and review that. Do you have anything else to say to the listener, Steve?
I don't think so.
Cool. We'll be right back. And we're back. Today we're talking about One Angry Lisa. It's the second episode of the 34th season. Originally aired October 2nd, 2022. It is episode 730 in the show's run. The nerd code is UABF19. Written by Jessica Conrad. Directed by Matthew Nastuk. And your showrunner is Algene.
Jessica Conrad is a writer and producer who has previously written on shows such as Angie Tribeca, Stand Against Evil, and Saturday Night Live. Her work on SNL earned her 4 Emmy nominations, of which she won 2.
You know, it's called Saturday Night Live when really only like half an hour takes place during Saturday night. It should really be called Sunday Morning Live. Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be Saturday Night Live until midnight. After a weekend update, then it becomes Sunday Morning Live.
That's right. Makes much more sense, and it's cleaner too.
Hey, if people can transition, so can TV shows.
Yeah, they should call it Sunday Morning on Hulu the next day, because that's the only time I ever watch it.
Well, sadly, Steve, I think you can only watch it on Peacock.
You're right. I had to watch it on Peacock. That's right. So Sunday morning the next day on Peacock Live. Live.
We love Peacock.
Yeah, Peacock is great.
You get all those extended editions of The Office. You know, you got some cool new shows with, speaking of Office, Craig Robinson, who was on The Office, has a great show called Killing It on Peacock. Oh, yeah. Catch up on the new episodes of Quantum Leap and the old episodes of Quantum Leap.
Grand Crew is a great show.
Oh, you know what else is great? Like you can change your icons to like fun properties. Like right now, mine's a T-Rex, or I could have Chucky from Child's Play if I want.
Yeah, and Halloween Kills coming October 8th.
I just love the Peacock.
Peacock is great.
What the fuck are you pieces of shit talking about?
Oh, what was that?
You little stooges. You can't talk about another streaming service without talking about the best one ever.
Netflix?
Hulu.
Oh, yeah, Hulu.
Has it get Disney, Hulu, and ESPN for more money for me. Oh.
Sorry, Mickey. Yeah, we know how much you're hurting, and you do need that money. So Disney Plus, they've got Hocus Pocus 2.
Hey, and don't forget, if you're a Simpsons fan out there, submit your artwork, and if it gets selected, we'll use it. But we won't pay
you. Mickey, you're an evil asshole.
Oh, keep watching Fox News, my favorite news network. Oh, bye.
Oh, boy.
Sorry you were interrupted, Steve, by Mickey. You were talking about Jessica.
Yes, this is the 13th episode of The Simpsons she's worked on, and her second written by credit. The first was from season 32, A Springfield Summer Christmas for Christmas. She also wrote 2, speaking of Disney Plus shorts, The Simpsons in Plusiversary, and the Marvel-inspired The Good, the Bart, and the Loki.
I think I like the Good, the Bart, and Loki. That was fun. I think because I was a Simpsons fan and a Marvel fan.
Yeah.
And what do you get? Fandom.
Yep. Cross promotion.
It's just masturbation for Disney, really.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
that's one of my biggest complaints is like, speaking of streaming services, like if you're watching like Paramount Plus, right? Mm-hmm. And you pay for the non-commercial side, like the $9.99, right?
Yeah.
Yet they still show an ad, but it's to another Paramount Plus show. It's like, dude, you don't need to show me an ad for the thing that I'm subscribing to. If I want to watch Mayor of Easton, I'll watch it, but stop putting in the ads before the show I want to watch.
Yeah, you already got us.
Yeah. HBO does that too.
Oh, yeah.
At least, actually, I don't think Hulu does that. I think Hulu's nice enough where it just starts the program.
That's true, because I guess I pay for the semi-premium Peacock.
Oh, your Peacock's at a semi right now?
Yeah.
You haven't gone full hard Peacock?
No, my Peacock is semi-rigid.
That's sometimes the most presentable for people too. It looks like there's a lot there, but really when it's full Peacock, it's just about the same amount of girth of and length of programs.
Right, of course.
It just stands up straight a little more. Yeah.
But
But really, when you're done with like a show on Peacock and you're at the semi Peacock after you've like exploded your enjoyment of watching that TV show, that's kind of the best presentable time if you were like to show people your streaming service.
And sometimes once you get done, you wait 15 minutes and then you're just ready to watch another show.
Yeah, we're just streaming all over this podcast, aren't we?
Yep.
Well, let's just get in with the actual episode, Steve. It starts off as it always does with a couch gag from animation man himself, Bill Plimpton.
That's right.
Yeah, we get another one. We've had a couple Bill Plimpton animated intros.
Yeah.
This one's a little different here because, it starts off with the family on the couch when they are suddenly sucked into a rug, which transforms into a tornado, and the twister spins, and then like a cow, a farm, and then the Simpsons family rotate around, like the Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
She was called the Dorothy.
The Dorothy.
Homer screams in terror, and his eyes take the same color as the rug, and the family continues to spin until they're all each riding a rug. Then finally the camera zooms into the rug pattern and then pans out and sees Homer on the couch sitting with his family. Trippy, man, trippy.
Real trippy.
But then the rug does a flip on the floor, and then Homer lets out a belch. Lets out a couple of interesting belches.
Yeah.
It was a fun little animated thing. What did you think, Steve?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I always enjoy these. It harkens back to I don't know if I ever brought this up, but the 1993 sketch comedy show, The Edge, I think is what it's called.
Oh, the hit sketch comedy series from bass player from the E02.
Yes. No, it was an American comedy show that featured tertiary animations by Bill Plimpton, but it also featured cast members Julie Brown, and then it had Jennifer Aniston and Wayne Knight.
Wow. Arguably the three sexiest characters from their hit TV shows.
Yeah, and they did fun parodies of 90210 and Studs.
Do you remember a show that was a sketch comedy show that lasted? It was probably in the late 80s, maybe early 90s, called Almost Live, but it was a sketch show based out of Seattle.
I do remember that.
You had a young up-and-comer named Joe McHale was a part of it.
That's right. I do remember that.
And it used to be on Comedy Central, but I think it only lasted a couple seasons. But I guess for fame's sake, grew up in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. Who else got their start on that show? One Wilford
Brimley.
Close.
He was 94.
One William Sanford Nye, better known as Bill Nye, the science guy.
Did he do science segments, or is he just sketch comedy?
I think he just did sketch comedy.
Wow. Yeah, because he kind of started off as like a performer, but then I think kind of his he kicked into the Bill Nye science guy aspect. I'm probably wrong because I think we're wrong about like 90% of the things we say on this podcast.
Sure.
When I go back and edit, I'm like, no, I think Steve's wrong, or I think Craig's wrong. I look at him like, oh yeah, we're wrong. But we don't have listeners out there to correct us. Correct us, listeners. There's one a few weeks ago that I'm like, oh no, I don't like. We were talking about Morgan Fairchild, that she played Chandler's dad on Friends. No, Kathleen Turner played Chandler's dad.
That's right.
Morgan Fairchild played her mom.
Okay.
I had to correct that. That was like a 4-week-old episode. I wanted to correct it.
Thank you.
But what was I talking about? Oh, Almost Live. Oh, Bill Nye. So do you remember there was a cartoon series based off of Back to the Future, and each episode had live segments with Christopher Lloyd playing his character Doc Brown, and then he'd have Bill Nye come in and do a science segments. What I always thought was kind of weird with the Back to the Future cartoon was that Christopher Lloyd was in every live segment to do like experiments, but when they show the cartoon, Dan Castellaneta was doing the voice of Doc Brown.
That is weird.
And Dan Castellaneta, of course, is Homer Simpson. So let's get to the Simpsons, Steve.
Oh, righty. That was a fun little left turn there. Our episode begins, as it always does, with a Christmas advertisement for an exercise bike. A husband covers his wife's eyes as he walks her to the Christmas tree. He then reveals his gift, a pedal-on bike, just what he thought she would always want. As the commercial husband says that he enjoys his wife having a regimen, we see that Marge is intrigued. The ad goes on to say that the wife is excited to be hotter than all the other moms, as well as the husband's ability to control the bike's incline from his phone. A year later, the wife says that she's never been happier and that she's finally down to her 6th grade weight. An announcer then offers this slogan, pedal on, because a great marriage is a bike that goes nowhere.
If your marriage is just stationary, that calls for a good relationship, right?
I mean, yeah, which, sounds bleak, but in a way.
Don't you need growth and finding new things in relationship? Like
absolutely.
Take up embroidery or something.
Yeah, or BDSM.
Or, I don't know, orgies.
Yeah, or bread baking.
Key parties.
Or board games.
Or sex board games. Dicks and vaginas instead of shoots and ladders.
Yeah, don't wake daddy. Just fuck him.
Penis trap.
Ouch.
She said it takes her 2 hours to set up the board for only like 2 seconds of enjoyment.
Sounds like sex to me. Sorry. Guess who? And if you don't have a condom, it's a risk.
There you go. You're doing better at this than I am. Because usually I'm just playing Uno.
Yeah.
Strip solitaire. I do so this is of course kind of referencing about, I guess, probably 2 years ago now, or maybe just a year. It feels like it was 2 years ago that Peloton parody, you guys know the joke, was getting a lot of shit for a Christmas commercial saying give your wife a bike,
right,
because she needs to lose weight or something. And Peloton got in trouble for that. Not in trouble, they just got like out. It was like, this is insensitive kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
and
that was way back in Christmas of 2019.
Wow. So
Yeah.
we were just all getting COVID, not knowing it yet.
That's right.
Peloton created COVID so they can sell more bikes.
We'd all be stuck at home. That makes sense.
I thought the commercial was pretty funny though.
Yeah.
Parodying that, of course, we all know Peloton. I don't know if it's part of the zeitgeist anymore. I think we've kind of stopped talking about it, right?
Yeah, I feel like it died with Mr. Big on Sex and the City.
Oh,
whatever it was.
I think it's As It Was. No, wait. And So It Goes. That's Billy Joel's song. What's it called?
And Just Like That.
Yes, and Just Like That. Mr. Big dies.
Yeah, here we go again. Mamma mia.
All right. Well, back in the house of the Simpsons, Bart and Lisa leg wrestle on the ground, and Marge tells Homer that an exercise bike would be great for her, especially since she could rarely leave the house. She even hints that her birthday is quickly approaching. But then Homer kind of wonders why she'd want an exercise bike when she could just get locked into a gym membership that she could never cancel. But Marge says just once she'd like to get something that she wants, and then storms off crying. But of course, not before putting a coaster between Homer's belly/table on his duff, because he's got slooped on the couch with his beer on his giant gut, which I think I could probably do that right now. And it's about the same size as the gut.
So if you like sucked in your gut just a little bit, you can drink the beer without lifting it.
Maybe I'll try. You mean my wine?
Yeah.
I'll try it. Yeah, jeez. Oh, got it all over me, Steve.
Oh, jeez.
Now I just got to suck the wine from my shirt. Cottony.
Homer vows to get the damn bike and anything else the TV says. So Bart flips the channel to an ad where a man is offering his wife a luxury SUV, probably a Lexus, with a red bow, and then a man giving a woman a yacht with a red bow, followed by a giraffe with a red bow, and then the statue of David with the red bow around his very normal-sized penis. Homer lunges at the television and then visits his local Peloton store, which is offering a "This Trend Is Over" sale.
One wife bike, please.
Excellent choice, sir. Our starter model goes for $1,500.
$1,500?
Don't worry. We do have an installment plan. $40 a month for months.
That's better.
And it's $60 for the classes.
What the?
$25 for the matching water bottle.
That's crazy.
And it's $125 for the special shoes.
Fine, I'll take the shoes.
Good choice. Regular laces or deluxe?
Regular.
The regular costs more.
Even the Simpsons acknowledge that this fad is already out of date, like I said earlier.
Mm-hmm. They know what's up.
What do you think that red SUV was? Maybe it was more. Was that a Canyonera? You said it was a Lexus.
Well, just because I think Lexus did those commercials with the every year with the
that's right,
with the red bow in the car, because that's the reasonable thing to do, is to just purchase a car for your family without discussing it.
I do like that there's a yacht with a red bow.
Yeah,
and a giraffe.
I liked Harry's work as Blaze, the Peloton. Feels like he's doing classic Harry Shearer voice.
I like the animation too. He, for the years for the subscription, he puts an infinity symbol.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, later that evening, Marge is sound asleep. So Homer wakes next to her wearing his tool belt, and he sneaks out of the bedroom saying that it's time for the birthday elf to work his silent magic. I like how he's got, his pajamas on, and he's not even wearing slippers. That's weird. Well, Homer's got some like slippers on, but he doesn't. Oh, maybe so to make not much noise, right?
Yeah.
You can be silent if you're barefoot and you tiptoe,
That's right.
He then stumbles down the stairs, loudly grunting as he hits each of the stairs. He reaches the bottom, and his hammer then hits him in the head. He then struggles to push the Peloton box into the house, wondering why he told the delivery people he's got it from here. I want to say the animation of the Homer falling, classic Homer.
Oh, yeah.
Hurting himself there. Falling downstairs. Was he trying to be me? The Simpsons heard us last week. Like, we better put animation of Homer falling in reference to Craig's fall.
Yep, Annoyed Grunt Boys did it.
I'm pretty sure we talked about the Peloton bike a couple of years ago, about the ad when it came out too. So
right, exactly.
Okay. So then he has a flashback of trying to pick up the box, the pedal on box, and he throws out his back, and Denine helps, saying, I've got me from here, laying flat on his back. And he pushes his legs to get back into the house. Looks very painful.
It does, yeah.
Do you ever have that situation where you're just like, no, I got it. Don't worry about it. Like, is it your pride in the way of like, you don't want to ask for help? I think it's a problem with like men in general.
Oh yeah.
Is that we feel like we have to do it because that's the masculine, manly thing to do.
Right, and it's wrong to ask for help.
Right.
It's not true. I mean, you can always ask for help.
Right. Ask for help. It's helpful.
Yeah. And nobody's going to be impressed by your
broken back.
Yeah, and your stubborn personality.
That's true. Steve, can you help me with this podcast later?
No, you pussy.
All right. Damn it.
So Homer then watches a pedal-on assembly video on his tablet. The instructor says that assembling your bike couldn't be easier. He then calls for a 10,000 SPM pneumatic saw. Homer scrolls through the video to hear the instructor say words like difficult, complicated, and, much like Craig's penis when he sees Lindsay Nagel, obscenely hard. The instructor finally congratulates the viewer on getting the box open.
A long video for opening a box.
I've seen longer videos for opening boxes.
Oh boy. I was going to say again, relate to this, that I guess even when you're putting something together, instructions can be not simple.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned embroidery earlier. Like I got an embroidery machine and I'm setting it up and like trying to read the instructions. Like, I don't get this. I guess I need to watch a video. It's like, make things easy, people. Just hit a button to do the things you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, be like a bidet.
Shoot water up my ass.
Exactly.
I do love my bidet.
If you were Australian,
buttons or anything, but
good day, bidet.
Put another shit on the Bobby. My bidet is named Barbie.
Okay, well, Homer works on assembling the bike when he becomes stuck into the frame. Homer assembling things. It's like when he's trying to put together a barbecue pit, right?
The grill? What the hell is that?
Bart sees this and takes Homer's wallet. He returns later. And he's got like an Itchy and Scratchy Land balloon and hat on, itchy hat, and then a necklace with scratches says bling. And then Bart kisses his dad, who's passed out, and then returns his empty wallet back to his pants.
Oh, that's sweet that he gave him a little kiss.
Yeah.
Homer wakes up to Marge yelling, "Surprise!" She has finished putting together that exercise bike, and she loves it. Homer then places a vanity plate on the back of the seat that says, "Love, Heart, Homer." So Homer and Marge kiss, the license plate falls to the ground, and then water starts spitting up from the floor for some reason. Homer volunteers to fix it, but Marge urges him to just stop and go away.
I did like that bit. Just like water.
Yeah.
Underground. Did they hit a pipe? No. It's just the faulty lines of the Simpsons household, right?
Right. There's just water under the carpet.
So I also do the fact that like it is very Marge who would put together the bike.
Yeah.
And be very happy that, she's happy that that is there. Like her gift to Homer is that he doesn't have to work.
Right.
That's her birthday present.
To herself, to Homer.
All right. So then in another kind of funny visual gag, like how Marge is stuffing her hair into a bike helmet. I thought they would just like go poof and just like the helmet standing on the
right.
I feel like they would have done that, but I like how they just like did it the way it probably would be.
Yeah.
I hope her ears are okay, though. Her rabbit ears.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's putting them down.
So her journey as a pedal-on rider begins with she's got to enter in a username. So she cleverly picks out the name Mrs. Marge Simpson or Ms. Marge Simpson. Next, she selects an instructor. Then she scrolls through, and the first we get Hans Moleman, Jasper Beardsley, and then a young blonde hunk that Marge thinks would be fun to ride with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. His name is Jesse, and he cares about his riders, all of them. We got Cookie Kwan, Luann Van Houten, Helen Lovejoy, Rainier Wolfcasser, Mr. Smithers himself, Ruth Powers, and Brandine Spunkler.
Can she afford that?
I was going to say, she probably has an OnlyFans account.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, there's fetishes for everything in this universe.
Uh-huh.
And she probably fixed a fetish for certain people, right?
Oh, yeah. There's an itch for everybody to scratch. So, right. Yeah.
Brandine wanted to see go to her onlyfans.com/Brandine Spuckler, type in promo code annoyed grunt boner.
Yep.
Or all throughout Cocktober here.
Yeah, it's the Spuckler Sucker special.
50% off, of course.
Yeah.
And then, back in that clip or back in the scene, the only one that he doesn't, or Jesse the Peloton instructor, the one he doesn't care about, is the bottom left of the screen, is Miss Hoover, or should we say Lizzie Gunderson, whose credit card was declined.
Uh-oh.
And he then tells her that the repo men are on their way. So it's probably her husband Gil's.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Credit card. Like, I don't see Miss Hoover having bad credit. I can just tell a Simpsons character based on their credit score.
Yeah, she looks like a 452.
But you know what happens? She marries Gil. Like, she was probably like a nice, like, 840, pretty high up there. Pretty good, right?
840 is very good.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
It's like 10 away from perfect.
So that's what I'm saying. She's paid off her student debts. She's on time, but she marries Gil, who had a 320 credit score and brought her down. Poor Lizzie. Hope she just divorces Gil now.
Yeah, or, I hope he's at least, a good lover or whatever.
Oh, jeez.
I want to come.
I came when the pants came off.
Poor Gil. Can't get it up. And I can't get it up.
This is the worst, like, porn parody, the Gil Gunderson porn star.
I'm sure didn't even save any pizza. They begin the ride in a scenic park, and Jesse offers words of encouragement. Marge struggles to keep up as the ride shows a rainy hill. The icons of the other riders swirl before Marge's eyes as she begins to fill herself with self-doubt. As she's about to quit, Jesse shouts her out and tells her to keep at it.
Oh, I can't do it. Don't you give up, Mrs. Marge Simpson. You're talking to me. Yes, I am, Mrs. Marge Simpson, and I believe in you. Oh, my God. A positive online interaction. Can you believe it, Alexa?
I'm on my break.
And cross that finish line. To quote a personal hero of mine, Mr. Nelson Mandela, it always seems impossible until it is done. I prefer to believe that he was talking about riding a bike in your living room. Peace out.
That's exactly what Nelson Mandela was talking about. That's called the Mandela effect.
That's right.
I like how Alexa just lunch lady Dora, cigarette in her mouth.
Yeah. Because it can smoke it whenever it wanted. It's a robot.
Yeah, it's not going to get cancer.
No. Maybe a virus or something. But
yeah. Can the Pelotons, I don't know, Steve, you have a Peloton, right?
Sure.
Can the instructors actually, I think they could talk to you. I don't think they can see you, but I think they know what riders are on there. So like, yeah. Chunky Lover 53, which would be me. I'd be like, good job, Chunky Lover 53.
I'm guessing that you're right. They don't see you, but they see your name and probably like some sort of grid of your progress or something. And so I don't know. I don't even know how many instructors. I know that there are like a certain number of instructors and like a lot of people use them, but I don't know how many people they're instructing at a time.
I'm wondering if this is I listened to Howard Stern, and this is probably from like 2 years ago. He would be talking about Peloton because he did it. And it was very much, he would describe that this is pretty much what was going on. How like kind of Marge picks out the ride instructor. It's kind of the same way that he would, but Howard Stern, he would pick out the hottest lady, like, but then he would get annoyed when the female instructor would start talking about their husbands. But that's what it is. Like, that's just like, it's smart because it's like desperate, horny dudes.
Right.
Majority of dudes that probably do this ride with the ladies who, are wearing bra tops, sports bra tops and like leggings. And then, when they're saying words of encouragement to the guys, like, way to go, annoyed Grunt Craig. I mean, Bob 432.
Yeah.
With the hopes of them falling in love with you, maybe. I don't know. I think that's kind of like they're kind of doing this with kind of reversing it with women. But it might be the same way because I've never heard the woman's perspective of the Peloton. If like they're just like totally into the, the dudes who ride.
I mean, I'm sure that happens as well.
Right.
Because that's kind of the whole. It's a horny little device. I mean,
I think they kind of talk about later in the episode how it is kind of a cult. The cult of Peloton. So I mean, at least it's a cult that's not harming anyone, like the cult of Trump.
That's true.
Or Simpsons fans. Probably the worst cult.
Yeah, except for like Star Wars fans, Marvel fans, Lord of the Ring fans,
Star Trek fans.
Yeah,
but the DC fans, no problem there.
They're okay.
Fans, they love everything.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, after that clip we played there, Jesse then gets off his pedalon. The bike seat is still tightly wedged to his ass, which is like stuck when he pops off. Okay. Maybe he's, he looks like a millennial. He probably has a butt plug up there, right?
Yeah.
Millennials love to wear butt plugs. Or is that Gen Zers?
Well, Craig, do you have a butt plug in right now?
I don't.
Then you're not Gen Z.
Cool. Millennials only eat ass. They don't put things in their ass. I don't know.
I don't know. Do what you want with your ass.
Did you know that the human anus can like stretch up to like 7 inches wide or something like that?
No. Okay.
Did you know a raccoon, a full grown raccoon, can stretch into an orifice 3 inches wide?
Huh.
Huh.
My
Hold
math's
on,
correct.
Hold on. I'm getting a phone call from Richard Gere. Hello? It's true. Okay, cool. Bye. Yeah, he just said, thanks for the info. That was it.
Yep. Praise Buddha.
No one understands that Richard Gere. No one knows who Richard Gere is.
Yeah.
An old rumor back in the 80s said that Richard Gere had a gerbil. He put a gerbil in his anus.
And
So
for most of the 90s, people made that joke.
Yeah. So, hey, kids out there, bring back the Richard Gere anus thing.
Weren't they just jealous because he dated Cindy Crawford for a minute?
It was before Cindy Crawford, I think.
Right, but that's the only reason people talked about it, because they didn't want to like him because everyone loved Cindy Crawford at the time.
Didn't she also like date? No, that's Julia Roberts. Remember when Julia Roberts was with Lyle Lovett?
Yeah.
And she's like, fuck, I thought I was going to be dating John Lovitz.
It stinks.
This gerbil in Richard Gere's ass. Hey, you know who John Lovitz? He was on The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
And so was Richard Gere.
Yeah.
Was Cindy Crawford ever on?
I don't believe so.
Julia Roberts?
No.
Maybe soon they can be on.
Yeah. When was the last time you heard about Julia Roberts?
Yeah, how has she not done a voice? She's had to have been on The Simpsons. No?
I don't think so.
What about Lyle Lovett?
Mm.
You know, just when you think everyone's been on The Simpsons, we're just naming people that have never been on.
Julia Roberts. Nope, they've just referenced her on the show Love is Nice from I think that's the a Homer episode, the one with the crayon and his
the Julia Roberts movie. They made a parody of that. That's a good one. All right. Well, anyway, so then Lisa arrives home from school and she's concerned that Marge didn't get the mail. So then she flips the day's letters. We get a final notice warning, a last notice warning, a reminder from Springfield Electric that they can cut off your electricity, and then finally a simple green envelope with Lisa's name on it. You know, this joke's been done many times on The Simpsons, like the warning, final warning kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Marge tells Lisa to wait as she is in cooldown mode and wants to avoid jelly legs. So then Homer walks into the room and then imagines 2 legs made of jelly, walking to a piece of bread, and then imaginary Homer enjoying the treat.
Yeah, it's fun. Fun visual.
Yeah. I'd really have like gummy legs.
Oh, yeah. Gummy legs would be good.
I love a gummy candy.
I'm a gummy fan.
You know, bears, worms.
Yeah, I like a worm.
I love those giant full-size gummy bears. I've never purchased one or had one.
Oh, yeah.
The idea of just like biting into it really entices me.
Yeah, it seems it would be very satisfying.
It does.
When I was a kid, my dad and I would go to this produce store in Portland, and they had a very big gummy section in the store. This is like a specialty store before specialty stores were a thing. And they had a gummy rat. And it was like not quite full size, but it was like a pretty big gummy. And it was in the shape of a rat. And I brought it home and my mom was pissed because it freaked her out.
You're like, don't worry, I will eat it.
Yeah. And it was okay. It was all street or gummy shark white is the flavor I describe it as.
Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Good if that's part of the gummy, but
exactly, but
yeah,
right. You need the normal gummy to counterbalance it. Otherwise, it's kind of chalky and not that good.
Yeah,
that's still fun.
What would you like a giant life-size gummy version of?
Oh boy.
Besides the gummy Venus de Milo,
of course.
Which have they made those as snacks? Like, is there a mold out there? Is there a mold out there that you can buy like to make your own gummies of the Venus de Milo?
That is a missed opportunity if there isn't, because that just makes sense.
But you can't really brand it as a Simpsons thing because they don't own the Venus de Milo.
That's right, and Michelangelo was pretty litigious.
Don't give me any ideas. Michelangelo's David's got the same dick size as me. I would like a giant. Let's see, what would I like? How about a life-size gummy of the Han Solo in carbonite?
Ooh, that's good. Or
just do life-size versions of The Simpsons, you know?
Yeah.
I could finally eat Bart's shorts. And Lisa's pearls.
That'd be good going down. Just like...
But it's white pearls. It'd be like the white gummy shark parts, right? And their eyes.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
That.
Yeah, and then she probably...
What would their skin taste like? Because it could be yellow. Are they going to use like lemon? Probably lemon.
I would say lemon, and then like their clothes would be different flavors. So like Homer would be blue raspberry on the bottom,
Yeah.
and then the white on the top. Marge would have blue raspberry hair, and
Love
then
blue raspberry.
green apple for the dress.
Green apple? How do we go with lime?
I like green apple.
Are you one of those assholes with like the green apple Skittles over the lime Skittles?
Absolutely.
Oh, fuck you, because I think they got rid of the green apple. I think they're back to lime. Thank God.
Dumb.
No, it's not, because when you put the handful of Skittles in your mouth, the OGs, they all work together. Green apple. I love green apple flavor things, but it doesn't work with OG Skittles. So you're wrong. You're dead wrong.
Agree to disagree.
The Annoyed Grunt Boys will never make a podcast again because they disagree on the green Skittle.
Yeah.
But I like the green M&M because it's fucking hot, and I like to, masturbate to it. Just like my pal Tucker Carlson. He loves that green M&M, that sexy green M&M.
Oh, yeah. Can't get enough of that.
He loves green M&Ms and orange buffoons. Circus peanuts. That's what Trump is, a circus peanut. Ugh,
that's why he tastes so bad. It's the worst. There is no worse candy than the circus peanut. It's not even candy. It's just it's a
chalky
crime.
Sugar. Like,
yeah. So Lisa opens the letter to find that it is a jury summons. In her name, even. Grandpa, sipping from his Petticoat Junction coffee mug, tells Lisa to ignore the summons, saying that the last thing you want to do at his age is to stay still in a box. Lisa assumes that the letter was intended for another Lisa Simpson and goes to throw it away. But she then sees that the penalty for tossing it is 6 months in prison. She then imagines herself in the prison mess hall, receiving a mysterious brown clump of food onto her tray. She asks if it's vegan, and lunch lady Dora responds, "No way, this is prison. It's vegetarian." Dora and the inmates then mockingly laugh at Lisa, and Homer then returns from work, but finds that Marge is a little preoccupied.
Honey, you got the Triple H. Homer, home and hungry.
Can't talk now. Jesse is freestyle rapping.
It's only the first inning, heart beating, no retreating. Time, it is fleeting.
When are we eating?
6 p.m., no cheating.
I'm Hamilton on a bike, Hamilton on a bike, y'all. You drop the LBs while I drop the mic, y'all. Yeah.
Oh. Ooh, a high 4.
My sweetie, what does that bike give you that feeding me doesn't?
Encouragement.
Mrs. Marge Simpson, that is one beauteous gluteus.
I'll put a stop to this, here and now.
Backup battery activated, and Marge Simpson is my biker of the week.
Go, stupid Peloton. I mean, Pedalon. You know what I mean.
I like how they reference a high 4 instead of a high 5. Have they never said the word high 5 before in The Simpsons?
I feel like they have, but they probably like skirted around it before.
I do like how she said high 4. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Next to one of my favorite jokes with the 4-finger discount.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, we could have done a podcast called High 4, The Simpsons podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But it'd have to be like 4 people. Makes more sense.
Right. We need to make 2 friends.
Steve, it's hard to make friends in your 40s.
Yeah. Especially when we're us.
Yeah, we're dumb. Was the Petticoat Junction mug going to be a Chekhov's phaser, but like it didn't pay off? Or just
I think it's just a non sequitur that
okay.
Abe likes Petticoat Junction, or he likes the mug with Petticoat Junction on it, I guess. We don't even know if he likes the show. Maybe he just got it at a thrift store or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Jasper's favorite show, and Jasper did something to piss Abe off in the retirement castle, so Abe stole it out of spite.
That sounds like something Jasper would do.
Yeah.
Fucking piece of shit. All right, so Marge is continuing her ride, and then Jesse offers to play taps since Marge is killing it. The other riders solemnly ride with their hands over their hearts as taps plays. Homer walks in and suggests that Marge go outside for a walk to get some exercise. He then notices that Marge has changed her screen name to Marge in Charge. What? Was Charles in charge taken? When he asks about the name change, Marge says that she's tired of the same old things. And Homer takes offense to that, assuming that his last name was Old and Tired. That was the wedding gift he gave to her. Marge feels that, Homer's overreacting, but he thinks that Marge is in a cult, like we said.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Marge says it's not a cult. It's just a group of people, improving their lives, paying money, and slavishly following a charismatic leader. Then she takes a drink from her Petalon branded bottle and says, I love drinking that Kool-Aid. And she wipes her brow with a Petalon towel, puts on a Petalon robe, and then grabs a Petalon duff bag full of Petalon swag. And of course, Santa's little helper runs behind her wearing a Petalon doggy sweater and headband. And also, Santa's little helper looks more fit too. Is there like doggy Petalon?
Maybe, yeah. I think you can do a doggy style.
Okay. Oh boy.
I wonder if they have that where it's just dogs barking at other dogs. While you were talking, I was looking at the screen because I wasn't paying attention. At 7:57, there's an interesting thing that happens because I looked up and there was a weird bald guy in the right screen between Brandine and Sideshow Mel, and it's Skinner, and he takes off his hair to wipe up his scalp. I just thought that was fun.
I noticed that too. So that means, is it canon that Armin Tanzarian is bald?
Could be. Yeah, it's a wig.
Wearing a wig, toupee. Yeah. All right. Canon.
Dun, dun. You know, Marge mentioned drinking the Kool-Aid, which of course is a reference to the Jamestown Massacre from 1978. However, Kool-Aid got done bad because there was never any Kool-Aid there. It was Flavor Aid brand powdered beverage that killed over 900 people. I mean, not that Flavor Aid didn't do it itself. They poisoned it. It's not like it's just a bad product.
But Kool-Aid got the brunt. So it'd be like if a cult puts the cyanide pill in a Hydrox cookie.
Precisely.
The news media say Oreo cookies killed the people.
Yeah.
It
Don't
was
eat the Oreos. Hydrox.
Just in case anyone knows, Hydrox came before Oreos.
That's right. And they're the same cookie. I mean, it's a shame that, I don't know, actually.
Hydrox just sounds like medical, though. Like, I'm eating a Hydrox.
It sounds like a generic brand.
But it also sounds like an old-timey medicine.
Yeah.
To cure what ails you, which is it's just full of alcohol. That's all it is.
Yeah, and heroin.
Yes. And
I've got the humors. I better take a Hydrox. Then beat my wife and go to bed. So back on The Simpsons, while all that is happening, Lisa heads to the prospective juror room in an attempt to straighten things out.
Excuse me, there's been a mistake.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
No, really, I should not be on a jury.
Well, no one wants to be on a jury.
But I have a valid excuse.
I'm so sick of this. People say their work is too important, or they have a vacation planned, or they hate cops, or they love cops, or they're secretly 8 years old.
But I am only 8 years old. Just ignore that magazine, and please take a good look at me.
What 8-year-old wears pearls?
You're being non-responsive and borderline fascist.
So you claim you're 8 years old and you're using language like that? Excuse denied! Get out of my face!
I like that scene.
I think the woman working the courtroom window, is that what you'd say?
Yes.
I believe that voice is done by Don Lewis. Yes. The voice, if the voice sounds familiar to you, dorks out there, she plays Captain Freeman on Star Trek Lower Decks.
Oh.
Yeah. She's actually kind of a well-known voice actor. She also plays Bernice Hibbert.
Mm-hmm.
Don Lewis. I was just saying her voice or the character was really funny because I just love that whole and what 8-year-old wears a pearl necklace? This could be like one of my favorite scenes in the episode. So
I think so. Me too. And also just like if you were 8, you wouldn't talk like that. So
yeah. And all the things that people try to get out of jury duty, and then of course being an 8-year-old girl is one of them.
Yeah.
The trying to get out jury duty bit in sitcoms is a great. 30 Rock does a good bit with it.
Oh yeah.
Tina Fey always dressing up as Princess Leia.
Yeah.
You're like, this person's not living the normal lifestyle. And of course, that 30 Rock, I think, was a reference to like a juror back in like the 90s about the lady who dressed up in a Star Trek outfit, but she was selected on the jury. So they did, that was kind of the parody of that. And then Larry David trying to get out of jury duty by saying he's a racist.
Mm-hmm.
Another great way to get out of it. But I don't think I would. But here's the thing. You and I have always discussed this. We would never want to be not on a jury. We want to be like the foreman. We want to be 12 angry men.
It'd be fun.
There was even a new episode of the new Beavis and Butthead where Beavis and Butthead were on a jury.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the funniest episodes of the new season, I think.
Yeah.
So, yes, Steve and I still one of these days will be jurors.
Someday we'll be in a courtroom and not be under arrest.
Yeah. And not be on the defendant's side for once. Look, I want Christine Sullivan as my lawyer for once and not Dan Fielding. All right. Well, Steve, later that night in the bedroom of Homer and Marge, their beds springs, they're squeaking loudly, Steve. So you know what that means?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, Steve, they're not having marital relations.
Oh.
Yeah. Rather, Marge is sleep biking. Yeah. So she's pretending she's biking while she's sleeping. So he's having a bike dream. And Homer sits up awake and annoyed, and he looks over to see his wife and her very muscular calf muscles. You know, she's got those, you can tell someone who's a bike rider, but they're out of proportion muscular calves. Like the rest of them is like fine, normal. And then you see the calves, it's like, oh boy, you ride bicycles. I get it now.
Yeah, there's a trend in Portland for mostly dudes to be like, they go on a lot of like ride/pub crawl things, and so they'll wear like the tight bike suit with the shorts and the
bike suit's got like a tie and a handkerchief and everything.
Yeah, exactly, 3-piece suit. No, it's like the spandex shorts and the shirt that's advertising Italian companies that you've never heard of, and then the stupid hat with the
like Pizza Hut.
Exactly. DiGiorno.
Chef Boyardee.
Coca-Cola. But they'll come into bars like wearing their shoes with that hook into the pedals, and so they'll clip flop, and then they'll have like the buffest legs you've ever seen, and then just a massive beer gut that puts mine to, well, not shame, but is equal to mine.
Well, look, don't you remember the couple seasons ago, Road to Cincinnati, when Chalmers and Skinner go into the biker bar, and it was a bicyclist bar, and they make that same joke. They have all like the buff legs and everything on top, and they do the same thing. Did you even bring that up during that episode? Probably
Did, yeah.
Steve only has 4 stories. That's okay. I only have 3.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Steve, did I tell you about the time I almost died like 2 weeks ago?
Oh, no, you haven't mentioned it.
So Homer is attempting to wake her, but Marge was happy to be pedaling in her sleep, since Jesse said that the only bad workout is the one that doesn't happen. It's like should be on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Probably is. You miss 100% of the TV shirt ideas you don't take.
Michael Scott,
Wayne Gretzky, and annoyed Grant Boy Craig. Homer is shocked and offended that Marge brought up Jesse in their bedroom, but Marge tries to reassure her homie.
Oh, sweetie, don't worry. Yes, I may dream about him, spend most of my day with him, use up half our disposable income on him. But I'm married to you, Jesse. Homer. I'm married to Homer. Now let's get to Jesse. Sleep, Homer.
Okay. What is that?
It's a pedal-on pillow scent.
What's it called?
Sweat Dreams by Jesse.
Fine, I'm going to Moe's. Where the only exercise you get is lifting a mug. Sometimes Moe helps with that too.
Marge is in it.
Yeah, you're right. She's sexually attracted to Jesse, Steve.
I think so. And the Peloton lifestyle.
But at least Homer's got his Moes.
That's right. Because at the bar, Moe does in fact help Homer down beer after beer, saying that he only has 5 more to go. Then he asks Homer what's up since it's Tuesday, and he's drinking like it's a Thursday. Which is a funny joke to me.
I think Thursday you tend to maybe drink more because it's closer to the weekend.
Yeah. It's still a weeknight.
True. But I mean, it's one of the
yeah.
strongest night because it's Thursday.
That's true. And there's must-see TV on, probably.
You know what? I like a Thursday night over a Friday night because of must-see TV.
Thursday's the best day. That's just hands down the truth.
Because, you have one more day of work
Friday,
but like most people treat their last day of work, their Friday, as like, it's the last day of work, so I'm just going to be cool.
Yeah.
Thursday, you got to choose 8 o'clock. It's either Simpsons or Cosby Show.
Right.
You got to wait till 9 o'clock for Cheers. So after Cosby Show, you got Family Ties.
Yeah.
Then you got that Cheers. And then at 9:30, you got, what would you have? Night Court.
Night Court, yeah.
Yeah. 1985 was a great year for TV.
Truly was.
When did Family Ties end?
I want to say maybe earlier than that.
Were they on when The Simpsons were on?
I feel like they wouldn't be. Or at least they're probably like way like out of the zeitgeist at the time. 1982 and
to 89.
To 89. So
May
yeah.
4. No, they ended right before Simpsons began. So then what was the Thursday night lineup then? It would have been Cosby at 8. So when Simpsons first premiered, Cosby at 8, 8:30 I'm not sure about. Cheers would have been 9 o'clock. And then 9:30 would have been Night Court.
Yeah.
So it's 8:30 on must-see TV. Like you put your 8:30 and 9:30s where you're kind of like iffy comedies that weren't as the prime comedies. Like 8 and 9 were the big ones.
Mm-hmm. You're like your tent shows.
Yes.
Alrighty, so here we go.
Did they try the Tortellis before the Cheers, or was it like Night Court, then Cheers, then the Tortellis?
No,
But-
so
but-
I got it. In
Oh, cool.
1989, it was the Cosby Show,
Okay, I got that right.
followed by the spin-off A Different World,
Oh, right.
which co-starred aforementioned person Don Lewis.
Oh, wow.
And then we had Cheers. And here's what's interesting.
It's not Night
Because
Court.
It's not Night Court. They may have moved that to a different night because there are a number of shows. One called Wings, which we all know.
Right.
Another one called Seinfeld.
Never heard of it.
Dear John, which was a sad sack sitcom with Judd Hirsch as a guy who got divorced and has a support group. And then there's a sitcom that I'm surprised I've never heard of called Grand that was also on, and it features Pamela Reed of The Simpsons, Bonnie Hunt, Michael McKean, John Neville, and Joel Murray.
Well, one of the Murray brothers
Yeah.
of Bill Murray fame.
It was a satire of soap operas that was a sitcom. So there you go.
I mean, on paper, that sounds pretty funny. You got a lot of, you got Michael McKean in there?
Yeah.
I mean, this sounds like pretty good. I mean, Bonnie Hunt and Pamela Reed. Wow. I mean, obviously it didn't do well. Oh, maybe it was like before its time.
Yeah, because it aired from January 18th to December 27th of 1990. So it ran for about a year.
You got a full season.
Yeah, they made 26 episodes and 25 of them made it to air. So yeah,
Wow.
it could have been
a full
good,
season. See, Steve, this is what the Patreon really should be about: is we get these like dives into things that other Simpsons character or actors have been in, and it would work. I'd be curious to check the show out. I mean, we could probably find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
What was it called again?
Grand.
Let's see what YouTube has here real quick. Oh man, it's gonna be one
crazy
of these.
that I consider myself to be fairly knowledgeable about old TV. Like, and normally, even if I don't know the sitcom like the back of my hand, I know of it. I've never heard of this show.
Well, you could get the theme song is on YouTube. I'm not sure about a full season or no. We could do research later, Steve.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, Homer's at the bar, drinking on a Tuesday like it's a Thursday. And Homer says that he has nothing to go home to except for his extremely fit wife, who may have a thing for her right instructor. Lenny tries to comfort Homer by saying the instructors are losers in real life. He then looks up their annual income and discovers that they make about $500,000 a year. I did some research. For a 20-minute class, they make $500 to $750. So it's conceivable that they can make between $500,000 and $750,000 a year without working too hard. Carl wishes he were a right instructor, and so does Mo, except for the bike riding and the saying encouraging things. And he's not allowed to appear on the internet without a big dot in front of his face.
Just like us.
Exactly. That's why we don't do video chats. Lenny and Carl agree that the dot is an improvement, and they don't really want to go back to no.mo anytime soon. Offended, Mo turns on the really harsh lighting, exposing his wrinkled, horrific face, which is kind of like the one that Homer did last season?
Yeah.
It's a new thing that they like to do.
The close-up, not realistic, but
Yeah,
gross out. Yeah. So then Homer ponders why Marge can't be content with other instructors such as Vivica or Gen S or even Gen R. Why is it always Jesse? Just then a group of men speak up, as they're always familiar with Jesse. This is what I was talking about, kind of relating to like Howard Stern and the Peloton with the female instructors, but this is anyways. Anyway, so then Kirk Van Houten, Reverend Lovejoy, Dr. Hibbert, and several other guys feel that Jesse is a damnation. I like how there's like one guy just wearing a shirt with the Springfield Three-Eyed Fish.
Yeah, Blinky. It's
Blinky,
cool.
yeah. Probably got it from our website.
Yeah.
We don't have Blinky yet.
Yes.
And then Kirk states that he could do laps in his deep blue eyes, that jerk. Carl can't believe that these guys complaining that their wives have found a healthy hobby.
Lisa, along with Rich Jackson, Old Jewish Man, Agnes Lamb of God Skinner, Kent Brockman, Lindsay Nagel, Mr. Burns, Otto, Crazy Cat Lady, Julio, Bernice Herbert, and Fit Fat Tony all sit for jury selection. Lisa thinks the judge looks understanding when the judge then pulls out a model of an inmate hanging by a noose. It's cute how the action figure's face turns red. The judge, in a familiar voice that we may have heard before, says it was a Christmas gift, and then lays out the groundwork for jury duty.
Now listen here. Jurors will only be released for the most serious of reasons.
Tell you what, if you get me out of this, we can have coffee.
Your Honor, we should both be excused. As a newsman who's seen too much, I can't possibly be objective.
What about her?
She's my +1.
Aw.
Do you have any objections to losing these jurors?
Well, they're the only jurors I like. Oh, boy, geez.
Don't type that part, and don't type the part where I said don't type that part. Ah, she's typing it. You know, I think I'm gonna win this case. Oh, now she stopped typing.
Jurors 6 and 8 are excused.
This place makes no sense.
You're telling me I'm on this jury while I am simultaneously in prison.
Good old Jane Kasmerick is back.
That's right. It's been a while since we've heard from her.
Been a while. All right. Well, back at 742 Evergreen Terrace, Marge continues her pedal-on routine as Jesse praises writer Wine Mom No More for her new personal best. But Marge kind of scoffs at the instructor talking to Wine Mom No More, but perps up when Jesse invites her to the cool-down lounge after class. Ooh, yeah. Jesse tells Marge that he's been watching her and invites her to a private ride. Behind him, Jesse's background switches from a tropical waterfall to a snowy mountain to one of the wonders of the world, the Taj Mahal, to the phallic representation of London, Big Ben, on a horse track with jockeys. And then on the very funniest one, he's in front of the Planet Express ship from Futurama.
Oh,
That
yeah.
a tease to Futurama coming back soon.
Maybe.
Yeah. Jesse's offering a personal experience with he and Marge alone. Marge wonders if that means that they'll meet up in real life. But Jesse assures her that his motives are pure. Just then, a delivery person drops off a crate full of overpriced NFTs.
I like his apartment. It's very bare.
You just like bears.
I do like bears. Marge feels odd, but then again, the only bad workout is the one you don't do. Jesse agrees from the bike, but Marge was sure that she turned it off. Jesse tells her that there's a 5-minute secret listen that you have to opt out of. Marge then looks around, sees if anybody's watching, and then opts for the private ride option, which only costs her $299.
Oh, wow.
As she's about to get her ride on, Marge hears Maggie sucking disapprovingly. She tells her youngest daughter that if she says something...
What happened? About Maggie?
Marge hears Maggie sucking disapprovingly.
Talk about marriage.
Suck. Game of Thrones on yet. She then tells her youngest daughter that if she has something to say it. Maggie then takes out her pacifier to speak, but before she can utter a word, Marge puts the pacifier back and sends Maggie to bed for nap time.
So then in the courtroom, Lisa sits with her fellow potential jurors. As a few of them read books relevant to the legal system, we have Agnes Skidder reading Legally Blonde by Amanda Brown.
Bernice Hibbert reading The Last Juror by John Grisham.
And then we got Fat Tony or Fit Tony reading Witness for the Prosecution by Agatha Christie. So Lisa's annoyed that the other jurors are not taking the case seriously, and the blue-haired lawyer questions Chief Wiggum in this clip.
And when you found the victim lying carved up like a spiral cut ham, you took this photo.
Yeah, but see how I got the full moon reflecting in the pool of blood? And that's just using the iPhone 10, not the good one. Amazing.
Can you believe this?
Longest Judge Judy I've ever seen.
This is not a TV show, and we are not a studio audience.
And little jurors should be seen and not heard.
I like, this is a podcast, but in that visual clip when blue-haired lawyer shows the victim of the spiral ham that Chief Wiggum licks his lips. It's very funny.
Good time.
And little jurors should not be heard.
That's right. Rural jurors should not be heard. Back at home, Marge closes the curtains, lights a couple of pedal-on candles, and begins her private ride. The bike alerts her that she's getting a call from Homer, but it sends it straight to voicemail. Jesse rides in front of the Great Wall of China as he thanks Marge for joining him in Mandarin.
I can't believe Marge is taking a private ride with another man.
I know.
So as he passes a sign on the Great Wall of China, it says the next McDonald's is 2 miles away. I like to think that there's McDonald's on the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
This little I've never been on the Great Wall of China because I've never been to China. Surprise, surprise. But I like to think that like it is just every little how the wall and there's a little building structure tower thing. In each tower there's a kiosk with gift shops and then McDonald's and Subways.
Yeah, there's a
Starbucks in every single one.
Right, and if you look down at the wall, there's little phone charge USB ports.
Yeah. They have little cardboard cutouts of traditional Chinese clothing where you put your face in the hole and get the picture taken. Those little cardboard cutouts,
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, he passes the McDonald's sign. Once again, Jesse speaking Chinese, telling Marge to stay hydrated, but Marge happily rides as Jesse shows her the wonders of China. And we've got the Bitcoin mines, forced labor camps where children make smartphones. They should have been where they make smartphones, Simpsons merchandise, and romance. We're laughing at that, but yeah.
Yeah.
all your Let's Go Brandon flags, kids,
That's
they're coming
true.
from China.
All the Trump stuff is like
Yeah.
proud to be an American. It's made in China.
Yeah. Even your non-Trump stuff is still made in China. So
Yeah,
everything I'm wearing and Steve's wearing, all made by children, I'm assuming.
probably.
Oh, yeah, because mine was actually American Apparel. Sorry.
But at least they're American children.
Yes. No one's going to get that reference either because American Apparel hasn't been in business for 10 years.
Yeah,
It's called something else now, isn't it?
probably just like sexy pants.
Sexy pants.
$80 t-shirt.
With underage models' nipples showing through in the photos.
Yeah.
Is that what they got in trouble for too?
Yeah, and he was also a prevert.
Yeah.
So Homer arrives home from work with a dozen roses. He's practicing a strip to Marge, saying that he knows that they've had a rough few weeks, but he's really going to make an effort to be good till Marge is no longer mad. Then he's going to go back to the way he was. He steps inside the house to see Marge on her private ride with Jesse. Upset, he throws the flowers down and heads to Moe's, where he makes a declaration.
Let's take him down.
You gotta be more specific, Homer. We hate lots of guys in this bar.
I know who he means. Jesse. If we did have sex, my wife would be thinking of him. And hypothetically, I'd be furious.
When that guy tried to steal Marge, he woke the wrong sleeping fatso. I just have to find him.
I can tell you where he is.
What? How?
You know how the church says we don't share any information? It's a lie. Google bought us 6 years ago, so here you are.
I'm gonna put a foot-shaped dent in his beautiful ass.
Can't believe the church lies to us, Steve.
Oh my gosh, I know. I feel so defeated.
That's it. Let's make a declaration now. We're never going to a Christian church ever again in our lives.
Okay. Yeah, I can. Last time I was in a church, had to be a wedding or something.
Church's chicken's okay, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm down for that. I heard this horrible story from a customer about a franchise churches that they worked at. So it's their first busy weekend that they were working there, and their uncle got them the job, and he was the manager of the store, the uncle. And the employee was working when they heard a rustling in a shelf above the deep fryer. And so they looked up, and before they knew what could happen, a rat jumped from a shelf into the deep fryer, and it swelled up and exploded.
Sorry, R.I.P.
And yeah, and so the guy, again, this is his first weekend working, and it's really busy. He tells his manager what happened, and he's like, "So we got to change the oil, right?" And the manager goes, "Meh," and then just threw some chicken into the deep fryer.
No.
Yeah,
but I mean, what did they do with the rat though? Did they still eat it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was special.
Okay. Yeah. Quite famously, we talked about on the podcast a couple, maybe a few months ago, the Arby's closest to me, the manager was peeing in the milkshake machine. And then later they found child pornography on his laptop. He's now in jail. Like they sentenced him. So he's going away. So that's good.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I could say that even when we had like shithead customers, when I worked in food industry, I never did anything gross. I never spit in anyone's food. I never said, "Oh, look, there's some flies. Let's put those in there." Never did any of that. Even if they were dicks. Doesn't matter because in the end, that's just still, it's you're eating something. Don't fuck with people's food.
Yeah, it's not that's just a good rule of life.
If you want to skimp on some toppings or something like that, sure.
Or I've
watered down their Pepsi.
I've worked in coffee for a number of years off and on, and if you're a dick to a barista, yeah, exactly, you're gonna get decaf. Or if you're a dick with kids, your kids are getting some espresso.
Yeah, you see those signs though. If a lot of mom and pop coffee shops, you would see those not even just that, but if your kids are left attended, they will be given jobs.
Yeah.
Or your kids will be given caffeine and lots of sugar.
Right.
Fun stuff. Are we talking about Simpsons?
Oh, yeah.
Back in the courtroom, Judge Constance Harm calls for closing statements. We get Gil Gunderson, newly married. Now he's a judge or he's a lawyer.
Yeah.
They're just taking the place of Lionel Hutz, right? This would always have been Lionel Hutz.
For sure, yeah.
And it's fine that Gil's doing it. Okay. So Gil asked the jury to consider everything they've seen, and beyond a shadow of doubt, they'll vote guilty. The judge then reminds Gil that he's the not guilty guy, and then Gil looks down at his right hand, which has written guilty, and then examines his left palm, which he's written not. I mean, this just screams out like this is a Lionel Hutz bit right here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then we're going to play a clip now with Lisa speaking up at that trial.
Now, if there are no further statements.
I have a statement.
This is highly irregular, but I'm very bored, so I'll allow it.
Thank you. I didn't want to be on this jury. I didn't think I was mature enough to decide a criminal case. But after seeing the nonsense that goes on in this courtroom, well, you should be ashamed. And, Your Honor, I find you guilty of criminal indifference and playing Wordle on the bench.
Bench! That's what it is. Juror number 6, Lisa Simpson.
Yes, Judge?
I find you in contempt of court. Bailiff, take her away.
Now the forewoman is going to be the crazy cat lady.
Take a vote. No, too soon. Take a vote. My little kitty's like that. What was it? Guilty.
And that leaves 11 jurors. It's a mistrial. The defendant can go free.
I like the Wordle stuff. I like Wordle. I still play Wordle.
One of the few people that do, yeah.
I've got a 268-day streak. Now they have a new bot that like rates your play, and I normally beat the bot, so I'm proud of myself on that.
You're the Magnus Carlsen of Wordle.
That's right.
Magnus did a voice on The Simpsons, right?
He did, I believe, yeah.
Did you hear about I forget the opponent's name, but there was a kid that was playing Magnus and beat him, but then Magnus called him out. I was like, no, he was cheating probably. And like now there's like a theory that
oh right, I did hear about this.
He's like putting anal beads up his ass or something like that, and like somehow that's how he cheats.
Yeah, so at first I thought they were just hiding chess pieces up there. I mean, a bishop would be the one that I'd choose, but that's just me.
I'm more of a pawn guy. I want to keep it simple and small.
As long as it's not a rook, I'm happy. Yeah, I think he had a thing up his tuchus, and remotely somebody would like give him vibrations.
Like what's going on? Yeah, because there's like a 15-minute, but it's weird because like there's like 15-minute delay, so like no one could watch the matches.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the kid is like not that he's rated well. He's like a master too, but like he's never like just like out of the blue just like won like instantaneously against someone like Magnus.
Yeah.
We're probably exciting too many listeners talking about chess. So we should probably tone it back down, calm down with this chess talk.
Yeah. Not since Andrew Lloyd Webber's 1984 stage play Chess has chess been so exciting.
Yeah. Let's get back to The Simpsons. Let's just finish up this episode, okay?
Alrighty. As Marge rides privately, along with several other women, the instructor is interrupted as Jesse hears a knock on his door. He checks to see who it is, and then receives a punch in the face from one Homer J. Simpson. Jesse pulls Homer to the Peloton screen and chokes him, calling him a fatty. He then offers his class the best way to choke, ensuring that you are using your arms to engage the core. Homer, running out of breath, declares that he'll die as he lived, failing and sweaty. Marge witnesses all of this and calls up to Jessie to let her husband go. She then heads out to save her homie.
See, that's how I almost died. Like
failing and sweaty?
Failing and sweaty, yeah.
Or falling and sweaty, too.
Falling and sweaty, too, yeah. Oh, wow. She hops into the Simpsons station wagon there, but the engine won't turn over. She looks over to see Lisa's bike just propped up next to some trash cans. Does that mean that they're going to throw it out? Or it seems irresponsible for Lisa just to have her bike propped against the cans. Like she would probably put it away in the garage or what it was supposed to be.
Well, we know in the past that Milhouse has ridden Lisa's bike when Bart and Milhouse hang out. So I'm going to assume that Milhouse left it by the trash can being a jerk because Lisa would lock it up safely in the garage.
So Milhouse came over to play with Bart, and then Bart's like, let's go ride bikes. He's like, oh, I didn't bring my bike. It's like, Kirk, why are you here? Because I can't do a Milhouse. I'm going to do this for all the Milhouses. Bart's like, all right, you just ride Lisa's. And then he's like excited to ride Lisa's bike.
Like, ride Lisa?
Yeah. He's like a weird, pervert anyways. He smells the seat probably.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Fucking weirdo Milhouse. Smelling girls' bicycle seats. We should call you Steve. Throwing you on the bus saying you smell women's bicycle seats. That's going to be your thing now. I'm making it that thing.
Oh, boy.
The Annoyed Grandboys. The podcast with one seat smelling sniffer.
The Huffy Huffer.
Huffy Huffer. I'm Annoyed Grandboy Craig. With me, as always, is the Huffy Huffer, Steve.
The Schwins make me go swing.
That would have been a fun B plot. Like they got rid of the Lisa plot and they made the other plot like Bart riding bikes with Milhouse.
Sure. I mean, it's as fleshed out as the first one.
Yeah. So she hops onto Lisa's bike and she begins to pedal, saying it's kind of difficult to ride without a screen to look at. She has to use her muscle memory, and she pedals harder and harder through the streets of Springfield. And then in a fun, very fun homage to the opening credits, she does the Bart skateboarding through Springfield town, but on a bike.
And backwards.
She does the fun little twirl with Sideshow Bob there.
Mm-hmm.
But finally we get to see Apu. He's still around.
Yeah.
So then Marge checks her phone to track Homer's GPS location. She rides up a steep hill, ducking to avoid the low-hanging power line, even though it zaps her hair.
Yeah, just a little bit. She then rides through a skate park, getting stuck going up and down a half pipe. But rather than doing a big jump, she just says screw it and rides on. Milhouse and Bart see this, and Bart feels that there's no way that his mom could be that cool. But just then, Marge rides by, tells Bart to be home by 6 p.m. Milhouse points out that if that isn't Marge, she stole her catchphrase, be home by 6 p.m.
I think that was very funny, actually.
Very funny line.
Yes.
Marge arrives at the New Money Acres with a $sign community and into a modern palatial mansion. Jesse is continuing to choke Homer when Marge bursts in.
You're having a thing with my wife!
Dude, she doesn't even know where I live!
You get away from my husband! I thought you said it was a private ride.
Well, you should have read the terms and conditions before you checked agree, huh?
That's enough, bub.
That's it, Marge. Work those quads.
I'm tired of men telling me what to do. Homer, let's go home.
Be sure to rate your ride and use Jesse32 for special discounts in our online store. Not valid without any other discount codes.
Once again, I have to thank you for saving me when I failed at saving you.
The beginning of the clip, the reverse Homer choking. We haven't seen Homer choke a Bart in a couple seasons because they're not allowed to anymore. So it's great to see Homer finally get his neck choked out.
Yeah, we've missed the choking on the show.
Also, like the grip that Jesse gives on Homer's, like it's almost like gripping like a baseball bat. Like it's so like the fist is so tight. It's like Jesus Christ. Is that like all neck fat and just like getting right down to the spine there?
Ugh. Yeah.
Pretty grim. But let's just say I'll say the handout is probably my favorite scene is the absurdity of when they're having the fight and the blue screen on the wall of China, and then Homer using his stomach to push him off the wall of China.
Right.
And you do the whole fall, like hitting rocks, but like it's a green screen, so it's not really happening. I don't know. I find that weird, absurd humor probably the funniest thing in this episode.
I think you're right. And it's funny because it then pans out to show the three of them in his living room. And he's just lying on the floor, meaning that he probably just fell down.
And pretending to do all the like, yeah.
Yeah, it's silly. I like it.
It's very conceptually very funny.
Yeah. So Homer and Marge ride and sing Just the Two of Us as they get some lard-lad donuts. Behind them, Kirk Van Houten is pouring gasoline and setting fire to the Pedalon store, which is going out of business. Marge and Homer ride through the skate park and past Lisa, who notices that they're riding her bike.
Well, that's the end of the episode, Steve, right?
I think so, but wait, what color is that text?
It's white. That means there's an extra credit scene. It means if you get an extra scene, it means if you watch it, you get more points.
The smiley face on your report card.
Yeah. Let's hear it. How about that?
Okay.
I'm interested in buying a bike.
Well, you have come to the right place.
I'll take it from here.
I used to make $500,000 a year.
And I used to be king of South Jersey. My big mistake was moving into Middlesex County. Why did I get so cocky? Stupid, stupid, stupid.
You shouldn't be discouraged. Gil?
Yeah, you can do it, Gil. You're getting laid on the regs, probably.
Yeah, you got Lizzie. All right, well, that was it, Steve. We did it. We talked and described the episode that you all watched.
That's right.
My legs are kind of asleep. I think I need to exercise and get on my Peloton and work out with Jesse.
All right, I'm going to go for a ride with Vivica J. Fox TV.
All right, Steve, you ride your penny farthing, and I'll ride my unicycle. But then after that ride, let's come back and just wrap up this week's episode, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be right back.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
And we're back. All right, Steve, let's wrap up this week's episode, of course. One Angry Lisa. We'll talk about some of our favorite jokes, favorite scenes, most valuable jokester, and then kind of just wrap up how we really felt about the episode. And then, of course, we're going to find out what we're watching next week. But before that, Steve, it's time for the gift exchange. Steve.
Oh, boy.
New segment here. Instead of getting products for ourselves, we're going to gift it to each annoyed grunt boy. So I find something from this episode to give to Steve and vice versa. So from this episode, Steve, I think, what could I get from him? Well, I can think the obvious for both of us would be an actual Peloton.
Yeah.
We got to get a workout.
For
We're
sure.
not getting too thin these days.
Nope.
Older you get, the fatter you get. But, the gift of exercise is not really a gift for you. It's for your loved ones.
That's true.
So let's see what else can I get. Oh, maybe I'll give you a bill, a final notice for your power company. They're going to shut your power off.
Thank you for that.
But really what I'm going to do is, my gift to you is a gift certificate to Moe's Tavern, where Moe is going to feed you beer.
Oh, I like it.
For the whole night. You just sit there and he just pours beer down your gullet. It's a gift certificate that Moe offers. So that's my gift to you.
Wow.
As a bartender pouring beer down your mouth.
I appreciate that. I love it. I hope that my gift matches up because as much as I know you love drinking, I know you also you need your sleep and you like to drift out to dreamland with a wonderful aroma. So that's why I got you a deluxe size bottle of Sweat Dreams by Jesse pillow spray. So you can spray that on your pillow before you go to bed at night and do whatever you do before you go to bed and then sleep, go out to dreamland dreaming of Jesse.
I imagine it smells like sweat and Axe body spray.
And maybe just a hint of rubber to encapsulate the tires, But yeah, you're right.
Sounds gross. I prefer a crusty old bartender put beer in my mouth. But
I just want the smell of a bike seat.
In his asshole?
Yeah, because that's my thing, remember?
Yes. I forget everything that we said earlier. I do love candles, so I thank you for that candle.
Of course.
'Tis the season to be gifting.
Yes.
All right, Steve, we got our gifts out of the way. What made you laugh in this episode?
We talked about it. The green screen scene with the team. No, the one with when Jesse fell off the Great Wall of China. That was fun. I liked Moe talking about how he would love to be a pedalon instructor if it wasn't for all the biking and the constructing people. What about you, Craig?
Best scene is him falling off the green screen bike. Yeah, that was my favorite scene as well. The Gil scene too in the court with the guilty not guilty on his hands, kind of classic Simpsons joke. And then of course Don Lewis as the court.
Yeah, I forgot about her. She's probably that. Yeah. I like that scene a lot too.
The whole scene with Lisa in the court clerk, I guess, that Don Lewis is playing like what 8-year-old wears pearl necklace. So you know what? I've never given it to Don Lewis. You get the MVJ today. And it's not because I'm biased because I watched Star Trek Lower Decks. It's a really funny cartoon. But maybe it is.
No, I think that scene was a lot of fun. That was also one of my favorite scenes too. So I'm going to give it to her as well.
Well, Steve, let's get into it. What's your final thoughts on this episode?
I don't like to be negative. This episode didn't really click for me. I spent most of it wondering if I was missing something. The Lisa plot, which I thought was going to be like the primary plot, seemed very condensed and short. And like the fact that we don't even know the nature of the case that she was in, aside from knowing that there was some sort of grisly murder done by Herman, or allegedly. We don't know why she was chosen to be a juror, and it never really paid off. It's just like, oh, I'm a juror. Oh, there's Judge Harm. The justice system is a joke. That's it. That felt a little weird to me. We talked about how Peloton is kind of out of the zeitgeist now, which is kind of normal for The Simpsons to kind of be a few years behind. So I'll free him for that. But I don't know. This all just felt like tired territory that didn't really speak to me. I just felt like Marge being attracted to a new thing. They've kind of done that before a little bit. I get the dynamic being a little bit different, but it's still the classic Homer trying to save his marriage with Marge. And they just felt like they just playing the hits and it wasn't quite working for me. So I'm sad to say that this is going to be a skip for me. I think there are some fun parts and I like that it was focused on Marge and Lisa, characters who normally don't get the spotlight. But I don't know, it just felt a little flat. So I'm going to say that the average Peloton instructor makes 500,000. So I'm going to give this a bike.
So you chose a word over a number.
Yes.
But you're right. I think this episode is kind of one of those, like, it's the typical, we always have to have an episode where Homer feels insecure in front of Marge and has to try to win her back because she's paying attention to another man. Granted, that man, of course, Marge does in a way kind of have attraction towards, and understandable. Yeah. We're also human beings. Even if you're married, you're going to find an attraction to someone else in the rest of your life, no matter what, whether it be on TV or just TV for us. No, but like in nature, humans, of course, we're gonna be attracted to other people, even though we're married or we're significant others. But when it comes down to the end of the day, if you really love the person that you're with, things will work out just fine.
Yeah.
So you have that kind of like not tired plot, but again, there's only so many things you could do. You always gonna have to have an episode. So I'm wondering if this is like the beginning of season 34. Like, let's get this episode out of the way.
Yeah, I can see that.
This episode kind of almost seems like a later season episode. Like, you've done the good stuff in the beginning, so like let's just put this one towards the end. And a lot of times the Simpsons episodes in the beginning, like this could have been meant for season 33. They just like
it was
around.
In fact.
Okay, so there we go.
It was in fact because UAB F19, I think we did a few around that number. So yeah, this was produced for season 33.
All right. So yeah, it does feel very like season 33. Go listen to that season. Like, it seems like we were just like kissing ass the whole time. Like, probably people were thinking like Disney was paying us. I wish they were. But with that being said, this episode was not strong at all. It's a very weak episode. I think the Lisa subplot was a missed opportunity they brought it up. I thought the Chekhov's phaser would have been, this must be another Lisa Simpson. And I was hoping that it was Lisa going out to find who that letter, that summons was for a different Lisa Simpson, which it probably was. It's great that we got Jane Kasmerick back as Constance Harm. But so there's some fun things in it. But yeah, I agree. It's a skip. So if I would give it a ranking, Gil was talking about how he was practicing a lot, like Middlesex County. That's of course located in central New Jersey in the United States. It was founded in the year 1683. So out of 1,683, I'll give this episode a 69.
Nice.
All right. Well, Steve, it's sad that the second episode, look, we're not chills. Like, we were kissing the ass of season 33.
Yeah.
Fans were probably thinking like, oh, they're just going to do this for all new episodes. But yeah, this episode fell short for us.
Yep.
Couple good laughs, but that's it. But hopefully next week, as it is also a new episode. At least we got that coming to us, new episode, Steve. So we don't need a wheel of random because it is new. So it is going to be season 34, episode 3.
Ooh.
So Steve, what do you think the title would be of that episode? And if you get the title right, we never have to do the podcast again.
Oh boy. I'm going to say the episode is The Three Momigos.
I don't know if the Simpsons writers like, let's make sure that this is the third episode. So let's make sure 3 is involved in the title. But here we are.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be because of that. It's just in my story, which I will not share with you. There are 3 Momigos.
All right, yeah. I like it. But the Simpsons writers don't like it because that's not the title. I find it interesting that this title. So this week's episode is called One Angry Lisa. Next week's episode is called Lisa the Boy Scout. So really hitting it hard on that Lisa, aren't they?
Yeah.
Unless it's actually the original Lisa Simpson, the letter that was supposed to go to.
Oh.
I don't think that's the sequel to this episode. What if each episode was a sequel to the previous?
Yeah. Lisa has to go back in time to find the person who she's trying to find the owner, the real Lisa Simpson. She travels back in time, goes to the Boy Scouts, and finds a young person who then transitioned as an adult to become another Lisa Simpson.
Is this what you actually think Lisa the Boy Scout is?
Yeah, no.
I mean, maybe. It makes sense because, when I was talking about every episode's sequel to the previous, that's how modern TV works because everything's so serialized now.
Yeah.
That like Simpsons are like, let's serialize an entire season. That would make for an interesting.
It would be.
One whole season that's all serialized. Have we talked about that before?
I feel like we have.
I should do that. That would be such like it would be like considered like the greatest season or the worst season.
Yeah.
Because that's the point of this podcast is you should be able to turn on any episode of The Simpsons at random and be completely content.
Right. And enjoy
it. Yes. Anyways, what's your real theory about Lisa the Boy Scout?
Okay. Just seems to make sense to me that this would be the plot. Bart goes back to joining the Boy Scouts or whatever their version of the Boy Scouts is. Lisa's upset that he gets to do it and
campers pampers.
Right. Lisa's upset because she can't join the Girl Scouts or can't join the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts are boring. And so she wants to become a Boy Scout, but they let her because now the Boy Scouts of America do allow people of females and people of other genders to join. So that's my theory. And then they go on
and you're sticking with it.
Yeah.
And it ends with them Krusty Burger on
exactly
oil rig in the middle of the coast.
And Ernest Bergnine is in there for some reason.
Steve, you might actually be right for once. We might have to do the podcast ever again. Here's all the synopsis from SimpsonsWiki.com is when the boy explorers become co-ed, Bart and Lisa vow to out-scout each other at the annual jamboree.
Jamboree?
No, annual, not anal.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, you're kind of close. Lisa becomes part of it, but you didn't get the anal jamboree, so I guess we still have to watch it.
Alrighty, and then we can decide if I was right next week.
There's we got it was written by Dan Greeny. You got two big names. You got Anna Faris as female hacker in this episode. Ooh. Has Anna Faris done a voice on Simpsons before? I feel like she has.
I feel like she has, yeah.
How is she not, right?
Right.
Anna Faris, of course, known for her popular podcast, Anna Faris, the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has a podcast now, right?
Yeah.
But this one I find very fascinating. Yes, very fascinating. Ooh. There's an actor named Matthew Friend, but he's playing baby Jeff Goldblum. So they didn't get Jeff Goldblum, but they got Matthew Friend parodying a baby Jeff Goldblum. And I like to do the really bad Jeff Goldblum. I go, yes. That's my very bad Jeff Goldblum.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to hear what baby Jeff Goldblum sounds like.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Matthew Friend. Do you remember back about 3 years ago, there was an app called HQ, which was a nightly trivia game where you could win real money?
Yes, I do.
That would have been perfect if it hadn't become unpopular for quarantine because everyone would have done it. It's a shame that they came too early. Anyway, I think Matthew Friend is now the host of that.
Oh, all right. Well, good job, Matthew Friend. Yes, I remember HQ. That was very fun for a couple minutes.
Yeah, it was for a time.
All right. Well, it's time to go, Steve, and go back into the internet and sleep for another week.
Oh boy. Well,
we're just nothing but ones and zeros to you fans out there.
But
to you fans out there, please contact us on the social medias of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 138Simpsons.
And you can always email us at 138simpsons@gmail.com. And hey, if you're so kind, you do your favorite podcatching app and leave us 5 stars or the equivalent. But you don't need to write a real review. You can just tell us your Peloton screen name.
And hey, we got some merch out there too. You can go to tpublic.com/user/NoeGruntBoys and get some shirts or masks or hoodies or tank tops. It's all fun. But, also if you want to not type as much, you can go to your favorite podcatching app, open the description of this episode, and leave a voicemail. You click on that button and go to our secretary, Anchor.fm lady.
That's right.
All right. Well, for this week, I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
And I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
And remember, I can feel myself getting hotter than the other moms.
A great marriage is a bike that goes nowhere.
Rate your ride and use Jesse32 for special discounts in our online store. Not valid without any other discount codes.